Hello friends, welcome to today's Feel Good Flexibility Flow. This is the perfect gentle class for when you want to stretch it out and tune into the happenings of your body and your mind. When you're ready, find yourself a comfortable position. You might like to close the eyes. Relax the shoulders, soften the facial features, and give yourself a moment to tune into the breath. On your next inhale, lovingly raising the arms skyward, stretching the torso, palms together. Exhale, lower the palms to heart center, twice more. Inhale, raise. Exhale, lower. Stretching the torso, mobilizing the arms, the shoulders, the core muscles. And from here we'll take a spinal twist, turning to the right, tenting up onto the right fingertips behind you as you press the outer edge of your left hand into your right thigh. Finding length with every inhalation and seeing if you can twist a little more with every exhalation. Breathe. Wonderful. Returning to center, we'll swap the cross of the legs so that the opposite shin is in front. And let's take this twist on the other side. This time pivoting the torso to the left and finding your variation. You might notice a stretch around the back of the shoulder blades. Inhale, returning to center. And on your next exhale, bending the torso to the right, stretching the left arm overhead, lateral spinal flexion. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend the left a few more times. This is a beautiful way to stretch the torso, the waist. And this time we'll scoop the chest and the arms forwards and around in a half circle and come into a bit of a back bend. Allowing the breath to guide you here, keeping the abdomen engaged so that we are protecting the lower back. Wonderful. Returning the torso to center, extending the right leg out on a diagonal. Raise the arms skywards. Exhale, bend the torso to the right, lowering the right forearm on the inner seam of that right leg. Raising the left arm overhead. You might begin to notice a tremendous stretching sensation around the QL region of the lower back, the outer hips. Well done. Inhale, raise the torso upright. Pivot the torso to frame the right leg, placing one palm on either side of that leg and beginning to hinge forwards from the hips, maybe folding over that leg, allowing the spine to round, feeling a lengthening along the entire back side of that right leg. You can always keep a relaxed foot here, or if you would like to intensify the stretch, flexing that right foot to really help turn on the calf muscles, the Achilles, and the hamstrings. Finding what serves you. Welcoming a suppleness into your experience. If you're in a forward fold, mindfully placing your palms under the shoulders and using arm strength to help you elevate the torso. We'll take this on the other side, crossing the right leg in, extending the left leg out, taking any adjustments. And when you're ready, coming into a lateral spinal flexion as we bend the torso over to the left. Maybe lowering onto the left forearm, raising the right arm overhead. Stretching your fingertips towards the sky. Breathe. Inhale, raising the torso, pivoting the torso to frame that left leg, aligning the sternum with the middle of your thigh, placing your palms on either side of that leg and beginning to find your expression of this forward fold. Breathe. Well done. Mindfully raising the torso, crossing the left leg in and turning to face the front of your mat, extending both legs out in front, grounding down through the heels. We'll keep the right leg straight as we bend the left knee, guiding the left foot to the outer edge of the right thigh. Raise the arms skywards, seated spinal twist as we turn the torso to the left. Placing the outer edge of the right tricep against the left thigh. If you'd like to take this a little further, you could come into an arm bind, guiding your right arm between your legs. And maybe interlacing your fingers together or using one hand to grab a hold of the other wrist. Feeling a deep compression for the abdominal muscles here. Breathe. Gaze forwards, release from the bind. Re-extend the left leg, take any organic movement here to release any tension, ensuring that the legs are supple. And we'll take this on the other side, finding your variation of this seated spinal twist. Mindfully releasing from the posture, beautiful work. We'll come into butterfly pose or bound angle. Soles of the feet together, knees are bent, allowing the knees to splay out to the side, elongating the spinal column. You might like to stay upright here, or if it's in your practice, beginning to hinge forward from the hips, lowering the torso down. Maybe that means keeping the arms extended, lowering onto the forearms, or you might like to rest your forehead on the mat. Find what feels good for you and soften. Find stillness. Gifting yourself one more mindful breath in butterfly pose. Gently unraveling the spine, raising the torso, closing the hips, using inner thigh strength to help you join the knees together. We will again re-extend the legs out in front, maybe pointing and flexing the feet a few times. From here we'll come into Paschimottanasana, a seated forward bend, knowing that you always have the option to stay upright if that feels good. Otherwise, rounding your spine, allowing the head to be heavy, elongating the back of the neck, separating the shoulder blades, feeling the weight of the torso and the head helping you stretch towards the earth. Breathe. Beautiful work, placing the palms under the shoulders, raising the torso, crossing both of our legs, coming into a tabletop position on all fours, joining the big toes together, separating the knees slightly, sinking the hips to the heels, child's pose. Arms are extended out in front. Feeling a beautiful opposition as you stretch the fingertips forwards and use the weight of the pelvis to guide the lower back towards the earth. Close the eyes and return inwards. On your next inhale, raising into a tabletop position, grounding down through the palms, and we'll come into a traditional cat and cow, mobilizing the spinal column, keeping the knees and the hips aligned. Inhale, scoop the chest forwards, arch the back, open the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, curl and round, chin to chest, engage the abdomen. And again. One more round. Returning to a neutral position, tenting up onto the fingertips and guiding your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand, coming into lizard posture. You might like to lower down onto your forearms here. And if it's in your practice, externally rotating the right hip and rolling onto the blade edge of the right foot. Feeling a beautiful release for the hips, allowing the hips to melt towards the earth. Breathe. From here we'll set up for pigeon pose, re-extending the arms and guiding the right heel, the right foot over to the left wrist, right knee to right wrist, either staying upright, or you might like to hinge the torso forwards, ensuring that the hips stay squared, that the right glute is connected to the earth. The back leg, the left leg is pointed out behind you, the hip, the knee and the ankle are all aligned. Giving yourself permission to soften here. Nicely done. Returning the torso upright, grounding down through the palms, transitioning through tabletop. And you might like to circle the hips, the pelvis, the shoulders in one direction, helping to mobilize any stagnant energy. And maybe swapping the direction. Let's prepare to take this on the other side, this time lizard pose with the left leg in front. Taking any modifications that feel good for you. And finding your expression of this posture. If possible, attempting the same variation that you tried on the other side so that we can really foster a state of equilibrium and harmony within the body. Breathe. From here we will set up for pigeon pose on the other side, taking your time, tuning into the breath. Well done. Re-extending the arms, returning to tabletop and taking any organic movement here that feels nourishing. If you'd like to join us for one down dog, raising the hips, extending the legs, feeling a beautiful stretch along the entire posterior chain, looking between the legs, elongating the back of the neck. Breathe. Well done. Lower the knees to the mat, sink the hips back, child's pose. Close the eyes and soften. I invite you to stay in child's pose for as long as you like, pausing the video here and joining us when you're ready. Otherwise, coming into a comfortable cross-legged seated position, closing the eyes, placing one palm on the belly, the other on the heart space, reconnecting to the breath, embodying the benefits of today's practice. Inhale, raise the arms skywards. Exhale, join the palms together at the third eye center. The light and the teacher in me honors and salutes the light and the teacher in each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for today. Sending you love and light. Namaste.